Hello and welcome. Joining us today is Dekyi who's going to share with us a very simple yet profound technique we can use to change any challenge that comes our way. Ms. Dekyi, welcome again.
Thank you.
So we're about to do an exercise you developed, and it's called Transformative Mindfulness. As we've already talked about it in a previous show, I suggest we just step right into it.
Okay, so a good idea is to start by just closing your eyes. And just take a few deep breaths, and as you're breathing out, just first bring yourself right to the present moment. So it'd be good to just feel your weight on the chair. Just let yourself be here. And just taking another deep breath. Perhaps what you could do is just consider a situation in your life right now that's causing any kind of trauma or causing any stress, or just is a really uncomfortable situation. So all you need to do is just recollect one situation right now that you'd like to change, or a relationship. All you have to do is just remember one moment or one conversation, and who was there, what was happening. Continuing to breathe. And you're just going to touch into it just long enough to recollect how that feels. It might be happening now, it might have happened in the past. And then just scan your body and notice where might you feel any discomfort as you recollect that. Where's your body holding any discomfort or tension or pressure, you know, when you re-experience this situation? And just put your hand on that area. Okay. And then what we start to do is look for more information about that. So consider, is that sensation in your body closer to the skin, or is it deeper inside? See if you can locate it. And then check how big an area does it feel. Does it feel just small, or does it feel bigger? And then you can also even ask if it had a shape. What shape would it be? Does it feel two-dimensional or three-dimensional? If it had a shape, what would that be? So we're just looking for more information about it. If it had a color, would it be light or dark? What color would it be? And looking for more information, you can imagine that if it had its own consciousness, its own thoughts and emotions, what's it feeling like in there? You know, is it feeling fearful or sad, or just even neutral? What's it feeling? So we start treating it as a separate kind of mind. Also check whether it feels solid, whether it feels more liquid or transparent, or that it moves around. You know, what's its density? thing you can ask is, does it feel young, as if it hasn't been there very long, or does it feel old, as if you've had it for a long time? Quite often we carry these things for a long time. You can even ask, does it feel old or does it feel ancient? It's been there a long, long time. So how old is it? Another thing you can ask is, does it have a job to do? If it is old or ancient, quite often when it was first put there, whatever the discomfort is, there's a good chance that it had a job to do. Somehow it might have helped. So just ask, what was its job? And there may even be the chance that there's some wisdom there that it's holding that's important to hear. So you can also ask, what is it that it knows? What wisdom is it carrying that's important to hear right now? And just take a moment to listen. And from there, then, this is the part that we're just exploring it. And now we start a transformative shift by asking, are you willing to let this change in a way that's even more beneficial? Are you willing to let it change in a way that is more beneficial? And sometimes you might need to ask it as if it's, an individual, separate consciousness. Is it willing to change in a way that will help it to do what it needs to do in a way that's more beneficial? And that might not be completely 100%. It might just be a little bit, as if a door is just open a little, but it's still open. Just a little willingness is enough. So if you are willing, you can just nod your head. Okay. So the next step is to ask for help. Just ask for help from the wisdom within yourself. There's a wisdom there that knows. For those that are more religious, they can ask for help from a spiritual source or a source of sacred energy, of kindness, of wisdom, of love. It's different for every person. Just ask for help, and the next step is to just watch what happens. Let go, don't try to direct it. Just observe it. If you have an image like a video, see if anything changes. You may not have an image, you might just feel what it feels like in your body. Just notice what happens. Also listen for words, sounds. The main thing here is to just get out of the way, allow what happens, even if it's nothing, even if it doesn't change. But let whatever happens be okay. Just watching for change, taking your time, but not forcing or directing it. And just letting it change as much as it would want to at this time. Taking whatever time you need, and when you feel it's changed as much as it wants to, then you can just take a deep breath and gently bring yourself back, opening your eyes again. So just take the time you need.
Wow, that was something. Thank you. So, moving on, just right after doing the exercise, can you tell us a bit more information how to go about the rest of our day? Is there something important that we need to do, or?
Yep, yes. So it's important to remember that we hold these challenges as stress in our body. So it's in our muscles, it's chemical, adrenaline, at times other things that get locked in our body when we hold this stress for a long time. Did yours feel old, young?
Ancient.
Ancient, okay. So, there's a very good chance you've been holding that in your body for a very long time. So we're trying to look at how to help that out. So this is natural healing. It works almost homeopathically. So, your cells or your muscles will start to release the toxin that's in your body as a result of that. So it's really good to drink warm water, lots of warm water for a week or two, and so that you can just naturally let go of that and eliminate it naturally. Otherwise, it works quite homeopathically in that, we've loosened something up. We've also probably touched something a little more, underlying cause psychologically as well. So that starts coming to the surface. So if you feel some of that emotion even stronger, just a little bit first, then that naturally will move out. So don't worry about that. So it's just being very kind and gentle to yourself. Also, the reason we draw, after the first part before the transformation, and then redraw the new image, is so that you can get rid of the first one, and then use that second one and put it somewhere so that that image or the words continue to familiarize. It's like the neurotransmitters in our brain. We've just created, old ones. We're trying to weaken them and create new ones and strengthen them. So by continually looking at that image and the words and the new feeling, that starts to lock in a whole new response. And for some who have, it's changed partially but not completely, then you can repeat this in a week and take it the next step. And just continue that process gently, letting yourself change as much as you can at one time with no pressure, because it's safe that way. You're not going to come up with any image or experience that you can't integrate, because and a therapist isn't doing it for you. It's your image, it's your solution. Anything else? The more you do it, the quicker you learn to do it. So, sometimes when you're being challenged, just in the time it takes to excuse yourself and go to the washroom or the toilet, you're already feeling that reaction in that time, instead of just getting angry or frustrated. Where is it? Oh, it's here. It looks like this. Am I willing to let it change? Yes. Ask for help. Okay, get out of the way. And watch it change. So by the time you're back in a meeting or a situation, you're in a completely different space with it. So it's something, by using it more and more, it becomes a natural way to respond. And, the lovely thing in the end is that you no longer have got an aversion to challenges as they arise. It's almost like, oh, I know what to do with that. It's more like an opportunity. Okay?
Yes. What about, if we use it in acute situations, but if we use it like we did in an exercise, is it wise to wait with another problem to do it in a week or so? Or is it okay if you do it one problem one day, another problem the second day, and so on? Or is that too much?
Well, if you consider there is this process of detoxification and integrating it, then you want to be also kind to yourself. So if I'm constantly re-stimulating a new problem, then you're not really giving yourself time to let it integrate. So I'd say once a week. But about 2 months ago, I got an email from a woman in Israel who has had 20 years of acute back pain, couldn't work, and she found it on the web and used it, sometimes every single day for 2 weeks. And her back pain was completely gone for the first time. So she even, I don't know, I guess I had some guidelines for how to use it, but she used it intuitively the way she felt she could. So it may be for pain, things like that, then perhaps it could be used more often.
Well, Ms. Dekyi, thank you very much for sharing this method with us.
You're welcome.
I wish for you to use this method gently and wisely, intuitively, and to transform your problems. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.